In this video, we're going to be talking about how to pay off debt with the debt tsunami method. And if you've never heard about it before, stick around so that way you can get more information on how this method works coming up. Hello, fellow wealth builders, and welcome back to the True Financials channel. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the debt tsunami method. But first, if you are new here, my name is Dennis, and on this show, we love to talk about personal finance, investing, and retirement to help build your wealth. So consider subscribing today, and don't forget to hit that bell to get notifications when new videos and live streams go up. So I want to thank fellow wealth builder Letitia for recommending this video topic. If you have any ideas that you would like to see in future videos, let us know in any of the comment sections down below in our videos. And then also to make sure that you like and comment on any ideas that you already see in those comment sections down below. So that way I know which videos you are most interested in seeing next. So there are a couple of different ways to attack debt. Now, I've actually made a video a while ago talking about the debt snowball and the debt avalanche method, and I'll link that video up above here for you so you can check out once this video is completed. So those are two methods that a lot of people know about, but there is also a third method called the debt tsunami method, and that's what we're going to get into here today, and exactly what it is and some of the advantages and disadvantages of going with this method. So there is a website called Man vs. Debt, and the gentleman actually put up an article talking about this debt tsunami method, and so I will link that in the description box down below so you can check that out if you would like to learn more about it. But pretty much what it really means is that we are attacking debt based off of emotion. And what that really is all about is how certain debts can have different emotional impacts on our lives. And a lot of us might know this if you kind of just sit back and think about all the different debts you have and what they actually mean to you, because some of them might have a big emotional impact on your life and some of them might have very minimal amount of impact on your life. So one of the typical types of emotional debt that can really put a strain on your life when it comes to having all this debt is typically going to be owing some type of family member or friend a sum of money. And when you are looking at it versus all your other debts, for whatever reason, it has a big emotional impact on you because it could be straining your relationship with that given person. Whether it's affecting your relationship directly or indirectly, it still can have a huge impact on your life. And we talked about this before when it comes to getting out of debt, that it's not just about the numbers. A lot about getting out of debt and paying attention to your finances is actually being able to be understanding of what is going on with your money versus just the actual numbers. Because if it was just a numbers game, we wouldn't actually get ourselves into these kind of debts because we would understand the numbers don't add up. And when it comes to emotional debt, that is a little different because a lot of times with emotional debt, it might be a zero interest, it might be a small amount, but it can have such a big impact on how we feel towards that person and towards the debt that we have. So having that emotional debt towards a family member or a friend, as I mentioned, can have such an impact on how you feel towards them, towards your overall debt, and that can really put a strain on you on feeling like you want to get out as quickly as possible. But if you're going the route of the debt snowball and you're paying the debts from smallest to largest, and let's say the emotional debt is somewhere in the middle, it can make it feel like it's taking forever to get to that point because you really want to get rid of that debt. So the way the debt tsunami method really works is you would take all of your debts and you would list them from the most emotional debt to the least emotional debt. And then you would attack the most emotional debt first and then move on forward from there. So what this can really do for you when it comes to getting out of debt is it can really rejuvenate your energy when it comes to going through the process and the journey of paying off all this debt, because you are getting rid of the thing that actually hurts you the most when it comes to your debts. A lot of times people can feel very constrained, very held down when it comes to the idea of having to owe somebody money but not being able to get to it in a quick enough manner. So as you go through this list, you would be attacking that biggest emotional debt first, then the next emotional debt, and so on and so forth until you go through the whole thing. Now, here are some of the advantages and disadvantages of going with the debt tsunami method. So, of course, the biggest advantage is your feelings, right? So how you feel when you're attacking your debts can be very crucial for you to continue your debt, because as some people might know, that when you go through the process of trying to eliminate all your debt, you can be held back sometimes. You can actually fall off the wagon because of certain things that happen when you're going through the process. So some people can lose their motivation when it comes to getting out of debt because it is such a grueling process sometimes. And other times, it could just be their enjoyment of actually getting out of debt kind of loses its momentum because maybe they're on a big debt and it's not going through the same way. So paying your most emotional debt can actually really help rejuvenate your idea of, being able to get all this completed. Getting a debt out of the way that can have a big impact on them can help move them forward and propel them to continue on to this debt-free journey. So one of the other advantages when it comes to to the debt tsunami method is you don't have to follow it directly. And it's the same thing with the debt snowball and even the debt avalanche methods. You don't have to follow them the whole way through. You can switch in between all three different methods if you wanted to. So if you have one emotional debt that really gets to you, because let's say it's a family member or a friend, then that one is going to be the one you want to attack first if you're wanting to follow the debt tsunami method. But if that's the only big emotional debt, then you can go ahead and after you pay that one off, go to any of the other methods that work best for you. So after you pay off that one family debt, then you can go ahead and move over to, let's say, the debt snowball or even the debt avalanche, whatever method works best for you. Plus, it can also bring back relationships that maybe were strained in the process because of the debt that were attached to those. So the biggest disadvantage when it comes to the debt tsunami is the idea that you might be paying off a debt that has either like a zero interest or even the largest balance, and it doesn't help you get through the actual debt process as fast as some of the other methods. But again, this method can really help get you excited and motivated to continue moving forward because you're getting rid of the thing that hurts you the most when it comes to your debts. So one of the other disadvantages is the idea that you're going to be paying more in the long run because all of your other debts are accumulating more interest versus the actual debt that you're paying off, which typically, like I mentioned, might be a zero debt because it is usually directed towards like a family member or a friend. And usually they don't charge interest or very low interest in comparison to credit cards and other types of debt. We actually did the debt tsunami method without even knowing about it. So we actually had a debt that we owed to a family member that had zero interest but was kind of in the middle between all of the rest of our debts. And we decided to attack that debt first because it had more emotional impact on us than some of the other debts that we actually had. And it made us feel much better getting rid of that debt and then being able to focus on everything else. So we went with the debt tsunami method first and then going through with the debt snowball method. So we actually switched back and forth between different methods. As I mentioned earlier, that is a possibility if you wanted to go that route. Let me know in the comment section down below if you knew about the debt tsunami method before this video, and then also too, let me know if you are doing one of those three methods to help pay off debt. I like to hear from you in the community. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. And thank you so much, fellow wealth builders, for watching, and have a great day. All right, if you made it to the end of this video, I have two more here for you. The top video is going to be my most recent release, and the bottom video is going to be the one that YouTube recommends just for you.